Good evening, Joe Kent here. I want to talk with you real quick about the executive orders that President Biden rolled out today on gun control. In his speech announcing these executive orders, President Biden stated that amendments to the Constitution are not absolute. This is a very radical speech to use as he rolls out infringements on our Second Amendment rights via executive order. He's technically correct. The Constitution can be amended, but the process for that is not executive orders. There's actually a process for that. So President Biden's gun control executive orders are very radical. The worst part, I think, is the red flag laws. The red flag laws are infringements on our Second Amendment and our Fourth Amendment. And the Fourth Amendment is our protection from unlawful search and seizure. So red flag laws say that an individual or an organization can make an accusation against another individual saying that that person is not stable, of sane mind, or that they're a threat to themselves or to others, and therefore they shouldn't have a firearm. So now ostensibly this would give the police probable cause to go in and seize the firearm from that individual who's been accused by someone else of not being able to safely have a firearm. So there's a clear violation of the Fourth Amendment there that I think is just baked into the red flag cake. Luckily, I think that will make it easy to overturn in a court of law. So hopefully we're heading that direction. Next thing I want to keep people's attention to is President Biden's appointment of David Chipman to head the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. So the ATF is responsible for enforcing most federal firearms laws. David Chipman is a veteran ATF agent. He was part of the siege and massacre in Waco, Texas in the early 90s. You can Google what Waco is if you don't know, but it was essentially a firearms seizure gone wrong. So a bunch of folks in this compound were accused of firearms crimes, and ATF went in to seize them. A firefight ensued. Numerous men, women, and children who were innocent, no charges against them, were murdered by the ATF. And this has been a huge stain on federal law enforcement for years. So of all the people that Biden could have picked, he could have picked pretty much anybody else from the ATF or the FBI to head up the ATF, but he didn't do that. He picked a guy that was on the ground in Waco, Texas, and part of that massacre. So I think this sends a very clear message that President Biden is willing to go and use force to enforce his radical executive orders. So we need to push back. We need to put people in Congress that are going to fight back, and that's what I want to do. I want to go to D.C. to preserve our constitutional rights. Thank you. Good night.